Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody. Certainly hope everybody's enjoying their meal so far. Just gonna go. Good evening, downtown Duluth, and welcome to our 31st annual meeting. Yeah, right? Yeah. Cause for celebration, right? My name is Justin Davis with Gracelon by Blackwoods, and I'm excited to be here today because nothing brings people together quite like a meeting that could have been an email. All joking aside, I couldn't be more proud to serve as the Downtown Duluth Chair for 2026. Nice. Thanks, Kate. I'd like to extend my sincerest gratitude and thank you all for taking the time out of your busy schedules to be here this evening. During these uncertain times, it's more important than ever to rally together, not just for a better downtown, but for a better community. A strong downtown is the engine of any city's success. I joined this board to be a part of the solution for a better downtown, a place where we can gather, shop, eat, and play. We have certainly faced our obstacles since COVID with increased vagrancy, the loss of foot traffic, and the closing of businesses. All these issues compound each other, making matters worse. But if the winters in this area have taught us anything, it's that Duluthians are a hardy bunch who will rise to the occasion when duty calls. As we move forward, there are reasons for optimism and hope. Not long ago, the Downtown Duluth Board greenlit a plan to imagine downtown. A comprehensive study was completed with involvement and input from the community. Focus groups, walking tours, open houses, surveys, and community conversations were had. The 110-page plan is complete, and now the hard work begins. How do you begin to execute such a bold 5-year plan? Well, a wise woman once told me, you don't eat an elephant with one bite. The Downtown Duluth Board and Christie have been hard at work strategizing a plan forward. The study returned foundations that are critical to the success of any downtown. The 4 pillars being quality of life and safety, housing and economic development, neighborhood amenities and services, infrastructure, and activation. When these 4 pillars are strong, downtown Duluth can grow and thrive. There are more reasons to be optimistic about what's happening downtown. The Lakeview Apartments will soon be online, bringing 210 residential units of badly needed housing to Duluth. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Everybody's happy to see that get across the finish line, so that's fantastic. Just the foot traffic alone will be great for that end of town. On top of that, we have added new restaurants and businesses with Alto Pino, Rocket Deli, and Gennaro & Company opening in the Gracelon building. Speaking of the Gracelon building, Gracelon by Blackwoods hosts weddings, events, and conferences every year, bringing thousands of visitors to our city. So if anybody needs a party, you know where to call, right? Awesome. To wrap up, we know there is much hope and optimism moving forward. However, we know that hope is not a strategy. It takes bold decisions and action to truly make a difference. While I am chair of the board, it takes a lot of collaboration with the entire board. I'd like to recognize and present a plaque to my neighbor at Zeitgeist, past board chair, Sarah Rolfson. Sarah, can you come up and be recognized? Is she not here? Okay, well, oh, she's right there. Okay, sorry. Yeah, it's bright up here. I can't really see. Go on. We are also saying goodbye to 2 valuable board members. Please come forward to be recognized, Matt Gottwald of North Shore Bank and Dr. Krista Skrupa of Essentia Health. Now I'd like to present our 2026 board. Please stand when I call your name and hold applause until all are recognized. First we have Kim Chick, Gitchigami Club. Pez Davila, Neighborhood Youth Services. John Dukic, City of Duluth. Eric Faust, Duluth Coffee Company. Forrest Carr, University of Minnesota Duluth. Phil Luchins, Essentia Health. Amy Lundberg, Maurices. Mariah McInerney, Northland Special Events. Bill Olson, Adelson and Peterson Construction. Mike Polzine, Pier B Resort. Ben Reed, Northern News Now. Jessica Stauber, Aspirus St. Luke's. Mia Thibodeau, Freiberger Law Firm. Kate Van Dale, Minnesota Power. Lindsay Whitlinger, Bell Insurance. And the officers for this year, yours truly, Justin Davis, Blackwoods Group. Vice Chair, Patty McGaffey, Oneida Realty. Secretary Treasurer, Emily Ekstrom from Huckleberry. Past Chair, Sarah Rolson. And holding it all together is our staff. Our team is small but mighty. Special Events Coordinator, Melissa Latour. Special Projects Chef, Lauren Aldinger. And last but not least, it is my pleasure to introduce our organization's leader and backbone of the team. Please join me in welcoming our President and Chief Operating Officer, Kristi Stokes.
Well, good evening, downtown. Like that unicycle behind me there? Well, it's great to see so many of you out there today, and great to have all of us together. You know, in these times when there are so many things that tend to divide us, it's great to see that we can come together united for our downtown, celebrating and lifting up our downtown. Through the celebrations and the challenges, we become stronger because we are here together. So I'd like to give a special thanks to Justin for serving as our board chair this year. You know, Justin is a smart, calm, fearless leader, and we are so proud to have you there. Thank you for dedicating your time to our organization, and thanks to the Blackwoods crew for giving up his time, allowing him to have some of his time with us, and for supporting us as well. Thank you. So right now, I'd like you to help me welcome some of our elected officials here tonight. If I can have you stand when I call your name. Mayor Roger Reinert, who you'll hear from shortly. Council President Lynn Marie Nephew, and Councilors Roz Randorf, Therese Tamanik, Eric Forsman, and Jordan Johnson. And we also have County Commissioners Annie Harla and Ashley Grimm. I think I have everyone. Thank you. Well, 2026 is really the year to make it happen on the Imagine Downtown 5-year plan. As Justin had mentioned, the recommendations from this initiative were unveiled late last year, and now is the time for implementation. Now is the time for the work. This is the big lift. Actually, it's a huge lift, and we really would appreciate any of you in this audience who would like to get involved to let us know, because we really know that it takes a community to help us implement these strategies, and it takes a community to really help us raise some of the funds to implement those strategies. We know that this will make our downtown stronger. We know that this will help make our downtown bolder, and it will make our downtown better. Our board right now is keyed in on 3 main priorities this year. Obviously, the Imagine Downtown initiative and the implementation is one of them. Starting the renewal process of our special service district is yet another, and demonstrating new efforts to improve safety or the perception of safety. So, as part of the safety initiative, we are pursuing a potential funding partner for the expansion of our Clean and Safe team. having a few more highly visible ambassadors dedicated to a special footprint in the downtown where we think we can make a big difference. So we have provided this service since 2005. That's when we started it in our downtown. And as many downtowners have shared, they can't imagine our area without them. So I'd like to just share a few highlights from this past year. They have collected more than 22,000 pounds of litter. They've removed more than 2,000 graffiti tags. Now that's up from 800 the year before, as we deemed it a priority last year and really focused in on it. And they've seen a decrease in panhandling in our downtown. This group is led by our ops manager, Scott Jenkins. Scott is over here, if Scott would please stand. He is a dedicated servant leader, so thank you, Scott. He's an amazing mentor to his team, and we're lucky to have him. And so each year, we also select our Ambassador of the Year for their outstanding work and their commitment to our downtown. Tonight, we recognize Carl Isaacson. Carl, if you could please come forward. Carl joined our team last summer and took on the duty of watering and maintaining our hanging baskets and streetscape planters. He also took on special projects. So out of that impressive number of graffiti tags removed, more than 1,700 of them were removed by Carl. So thank you, Carl. And right now, you'll actually find him greeting people as our full-time Skywalk ambassador. So make sure when you see him in the Skywalk that you also have a chance to say hi to Carl and to congratulations, Carl. Well, lastly, I have one more to add, and that is our outreach specialist, Nathan Christie, who just wrapped up 3 years with our team. Well, does that look familiar? I don't know. He kind of looks like someone that's on a lot of billboards around Minnesota and Wisconsin. I don't know. I'm not giving an extra plug there, but I will also say that he doesn't give out legal advice. Instead, he gives out hand warmers. He provides assistance to individuals. He reminds people to take their medication. He's fostered people's dogs. He de-escalates situations, and he gives us all hope. During his time, he has assisted 94 individuals with gaining housing and 84 into treatment. He is compassionate, yet he holds people accountable. Thank you, Nathan. So I do have to say, in this case, you do not have to fear the beard. Well, this is an important program for all of us, and everybody's support counts. So this is kind of a time when we encourage you all to pull out your phones, because there is a QR code on your table, and if each of you were able to just contribute as little as $20, that would help with sustaining this program and keeping it going. It would make a big difference for all of us in our downtown, and we would greatly appreciate it. So I'm also going to say I am very optimistic about this year. So we have a roadmap for some successful strategies. We have some new investors in our downtown buildings as well as businesses, and we have an engaged board and residents that are stepping up for their neighborhood. We have events like Downtown Duluth Days, expanding and activating more space. And we have a city that is supporting revitalization efforts through its focus on our downtown, on residential development, as well as storefront loan programs and more. I am pleased that our mayor shares our vision for the future of our downtown. He continues to identify downtown as a priority, while also demonstrating his true love for our entire community. So please join me in welcoming Mayor Roger Reinert.
Kristi was like, I love the photo you submitted. I'm like, well, why is that? So from Downtown Days last summer. So, and Justin, I loved the comment about hope is not a strategy. The rest of that goes, and luck is not a tactic. And I think that is really helpful for us as we think about downtown. So good evening, everyone. Thank you, Kristi. Thank you all for being here, and thank you for investing your time, energy, and resources in downtown Duluth. Again, echoing Justin, how good does it feel to be together? January, folks, has been a challenging month, and many times I found the energy to continue forward, confronting things that I could not have imagined as your mayor by just spending time with our big small town. And that is what this room tonight reminds me of, our deep connectedness. So we're here tonight to talk a little bit about, or a lot, about downtown, because downtowns matter. They are the front door, the economic engine, and the shared living room of a community. And when a downtown is strong, the entire city benefits. And when it struggles, the entire community feels it. Residents, visitors, employees, and business owners alike want our downtown to feel clean, safe, active, and welcoming. The work we have to do in downtown is not unique to Duluth. It is the work downtowns are facing all across America. And there are no magic wands. It's about doing the fundamentals and doing them well, block by block, building by building. And City Hall is a key player, and Christie mentioned that. Key player and partner in Duluth's downtown efforts. But I want to share that we are not the everything, nor do we have the ability to just make folks do what we might want them to do, as much as that would be convenient at times. Our mission at City Hall is focused on delivering effective and efficient core city services at a tax rate our businesses can both, and residents can both afford and sustain. The reality is that over 80% of property in downtown Duluth is privately owned, which means this room tonight, all of you, are the most important players on the field. You know, over the past 2 years, we have made long overdue progress on visible downtown challenges. The blighted cozy is gone. The Shoppers Ramp deconstruction is almost complete. And we have worked with our nonprofit partners for a more integrated approach to support the unhoused, while also passing public safety ordinances to better address problematic behaviors like panhandling and encampments. And last year, Councilor Forsman, who is up here towards the front, and his colleagues at the council authorized a skywalk study so we can examine this 3-mile elevated system, now over 70 years old, with a multi-million-dollar list of repairs and deferred maintenance that is also in direct competition with our street-level retailers. The results will be presented to the council on February 12th in a study session starting at 6 p.m., and I would encourage you all to attend. At the same time, we're working to remove policy barriers to encourage new investment downtown. We're advancing zoning changes to make development easier, more flexible, and more predictable, so that reusing existing buildings, adding housing, and activating ground floors is simpler and faster. DETA and the City of Duluth are also in the midst of a downtown, hang with me, alternative urban area-wide review. You cannot say that fast, you will screw it up. Or an AUAR, which will set the table for all of downtown and clear the way for future development and reduce uncertainty for investors who want to build and invest in our downtown. Housing remains a critical piece of the downtown puzzle. Over the last 2 years, we've added almost 800 housing units citywide. I met several new residents tonight, and my very first question was, have you found housing? Because that is the challenge, especially for our employers and our workforce. But our priority remains to bring more housing downtown. The Lakeview project coming online is exciting, but we need more. We need purchase and rental at all the price points and for all the stages of life. Downtown residential means more foot traffic, safer streets, stronger businesses, and a more resilient local economy. To support that, new tools are coming online. The Duluth Economic Development Authority, DETA, will begin selling infill properties this spring, putting vacant and underused parcels back into productive use. The Housing Trust Fund will be launching new site prep funds focused on addressing blight and helping prepare sites for housing development helping projects move from idea to reality. And the 1200 Fund has launched both historic fund and storefront loan funds to support reinvestment in existing buildings. Now, these are not flashy mega projects. They are the practical, targeted tools designed to help small and mid-sized projects move forward. Exactly the kind of block-by-block incremental progress downtown needs. And they're guided, as both Kristi and Justin mentioned, by the overall vision of the Imagine Downtown 5-year plan, which includes strategies both short and long term to create a downtown that is cleaner, safer, and more vibrant. But friends, here's the reality. While revitalizing downtown Duluth is one of our 5 big strategic goals at City Hall, we cannot do that work alone. We need each and every one of you in this room tonight to be active stakeholders. And as I was getting prepared to come up, I thought, you know when I will lose hope for downtown? You know when I will be discouraged? When I cannot look out and see a room full of people who care and are passionate about our downtown. When we're down to maybe one table with Kristi and I up front and center. There is a room full of energy tonight, and you are all active stakeholders. So my ask of you is be strategic. Start small. Start with your own block. Ask yourselves, what can I do tomorrow that will make an impact? And then do it. It doesn't have to be perfect, and it doesn't have to be grand, and it doesn't have to be expensive. What can I fix? What can I clean? What can I make more visible? What can I make more active? Because lasting success comes from small, smart, financially productive investments, not just big, flashy projects. And downtown vitality is built incrementally, block by block, storefront by storefront. It's clean sidewalks, maintained buildings, active ground floors, places that feel cared for and feel cared about. And that means partnership and shared responsibility. Every one of us taking the action we can, where we can, in the places where we can. The city will continue to focus on the basics, clean and safer streets, reliable utilities, public safety and infrastructure that works. But downtown businesses, workers, and property owners also have critical roles to play. We need investment at the street level, buildings that are maintained and active, sidewalks that are cleared of snow. We need collaboration around cleanliness, safety, and activation. A vibrant downtown doesn't happen by accident. It starts with people taking ownership of their one block. The good news is this, the pieces are there. We are investing in infrastructure. We are removing blight. We are modernizing zoning. We are putting land back into circulation. We are creating clear pathways for housing and reinvestment. And the good news is also, and I shared this with several of you as we were visiting downstairs before coming up, unlike many downtowns in America, we still have strong destinations. We have anchors like the Sheridan, the Duluth Playhouse, Zeitgeist, Main Street Fashion, General Jewelers. We have growing entrepreneurs like Huckleberry and Northland Special Events. Fun new places to stay like Force on Fifth, the Intrepid, and the Oliver Inn. All alongside signature events like Homegrown, Grandma's Marathon, Downtown Days, and the Christmas City of the North Parade that continue to draw people to downtown Duluth. So we have more work to do to make downtown Duluth cleaner, safer, and more vibrant. But let's commit tonight to stay at it. Knowing that progress isn't going to happen all at once, and it's certainly not going to happen overnight. And it definitely won't happen alone. It will happen in the Duluth way, block by block, storefront by storefront. It will happen together because that's how we do it here. That's how it works in our big small town because we are Duluth. So thank you for the opportunity to be here tonight. Thank you for packing this room. Thank you to Kristi and her staff for continuing to be the cheerleaders and leading the charge. And as Kristi said, I am optimistic because I can see the progress. So thanks, Kristi.
Thank you so much, Mayor, for those great comments. Well, we are talking small businesses now because small businesses play a large role in our community and especially in our downtown waterfront. They make us unique, they spend locally, they get involved because they are invested in our community. Really, the majority of our membership with our organization is made up of small to mid-sized businesses, and it is a true honor to advocate for all of you and to really think about fostering that entrepreneurial spirit. Someone who comes from a family of entrepreneurs on both sides is Kristi Erickson. Kristi and her husband Brad own Vitta Pizza in Canal Park and over the hill on Central Entrance. She has served as a strong voice for small business as she has been actively involved with Imagine Downtown since we actually started the process. Tonight, let us shine the spotlight on someone with a great name, too, Kristi Erickson.
Good evening, Duluth. We were thrilled when Christie asked us to be the small business spotlight for tonight's event. It's an honor. Thank you. My name is Kristi Erickson. My husband, Brad, and I own Vitta Pizza, a local wood-fired Neapolitan pizzeria with 2 locations, one in Canal Park and one on Central Entrance. On behalf of Brad, who asked me to call him my trophy husband tonight, who's in the audience, this is our story. We both came from families of entrepreneurs. Brad's grandfather started a company in West Duluth called Chromaglow, which Brad's dad continued to grow. Brad's mom opened the cutest home goods store called the Kitchen Cupboard on London Road. Yeah. My parents owned a clothing store called Crossroads Clothing in Kenwood, West Duluth, and Pike Lake. It was a long time ago, but maybe a few of you remember those businesses. Growing up, we saw firsthand how owning your own business is hard work. We saw the struggle, the hours, the fighting, the pressure, but somehow it didn't snuff out our spark to create something of our own. Brad and I met in 7th grade. He was my first boyfriend. Fast forward, we both attended UMD, graduating with a Bachelor in Business Administration. I went on and got my master's degree in physical therapy. While in college, we both worked in restaurants. My first waitressing job was at Grandma's Canal Park, or G1, as some of us call it. Brad worked at Augustino's, the Park Inn, Timber Lodge, and the Sunset. Maybe some of you remember those. When Brad started talking about wanting to open his own restaurant, I was all in. I didn't think twice. I think that's crazy. I was like, why not? He was tired of working for the man, as he called it. Meanwhile, our vision of a restaurant was about to become very clear. On a trip to Arizona in 2010, with our 2-year-old daughter, we went to a coal-fired pizza place. This gave they gave Lulu, as we call her, a dough ball to play with. This gave Brad and I a chance to actually talk. By the way, we stole that dough ball idea and give out dough balls to littles to this day. We tasted a pizza cooked by fire for the first time ever. I've never tasted a pizza so good. The slightly smoky, blistered crust and cheese gave it such a deep flavor. We knew we wanted to bring this back to Duluth. Then we needed to narrow down the concept. We wanted clean, fresh, fast, and easy counter service to make it simple. We researched and found Neapolitan-style pizza cooks in as little as 97 seconds in a wood-fired oven. Sounds perfect. The rest happened very quickly. Brad's boss, Dick McNutt, told Brad his tenant, Northern Lakes Bookstore, was closing in Canal Park, and we should consider the spot. This was December 2010. It was the first and only location we looked at. Location, 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 as they taught us in business school. We knew we had to move quickly. We signed the letter of intent in January 2011. With the help of a brilliant architect, Robert Berquist, we planned the space. We gutted it down to the dirt floor to add plumbing. A lot of sweat equity went into that space, mostly Brad, not me, to save money. Unconventionally, Brad cashed in his 401k to open the business. Equipment was purchased with credit cards. Warning, this is not sound business advice. We ordered our 4,000-pound wood-fired oven from Naples, Italy. Brad picked up a Vespa on a road trip with his dad. We hired an amazing team, and Vitta Pizza opened in June 2011. the week of Grandma's Marathon. Also, not sound business advice. The next few years were not easy. Brad worked more than full-time at Vitta. I continued to work behind the scenes at Vitta and then full-time in healthcare, at Essentia actually, to help cover bills and carry insurance. We were blessed with Jagger, baby number 2, in our second year of operation. Literally, our hands were full, but we were happy. Due to our amazing team and lots of local support, Vitta grew. We had 10% growth for 9 consecutive years. We were so thankful. Thank you. Thank you. And that was due to the local support of Duluth and our amazing team. Brad was finally able to step away from the day-to-day and work on the business instead of in it. We were ready for store number 2. The COVID era brought convenience to the forefront for all of us. We envisioned a drive-up window concept to make it easy to grab and go pizza. Drive-up pizza. We kept our eyes open for the perfect spot. After 2 years of hounding Mr. Joe Kleinman, we were able to purchase the UPS building on Central Entrance in June 2021. It was perfect for our vision. It had been a bakery years before and had an old covered up window, which is our drive-up window today. After more sweat equity, again, more Brad than mine, another imported oven, another Vespa, and a road trip with Lulu, and an amazing team, we opened Vitta Pizza Central Entrance in November 2022. What started from a generation of entrepreneurship and a chance visit to a pizzeria in Arizona has grown into our small business, Vitta Pizza. I thank every customer, every employee, past and present, who make Vitta Pizza what it is today. We are honored to be part of Duluth's food culture, bringing families together, creating jobs, giving back to the community, and adding flavor to our streets. But we're just one of many amazing businesses here in Duluth. If you really want to understand Duluth, its heart, its resilience, its future, you start with a small business scene. You start with Duluth Coffee, that opens before sunrise in February. Minnesota Surplus, who knows exactly what kind of boots to survive a North Shore winter. An artist like Lake Superior Art Glass, the brewer like Hoops, all who decided that Duluth wasn't just where they lived, they wanted to build something here. These businesses keep dollars circulating right here at home. These businesses pay for Little League uniforms, support our schools, and donate to fundraisers. And let's be honest, running a small business in Duluth is not easy. It takes courage to start something here. It takes perseverance to survive long winters, seasonal tourism cycles, rising costs, and a competitive marketplace. Small business owners take real risks, not just financial ones, but personal ones. They invest their time, savings, and energy into something they believe will make Duluth better. As leaders, we talk big ideas, but those big ideas don't come to life on their own. They need leadership, coordination, vision. That's where Imagine Downtown matters. Imagine Downtown isn't just about promoting a place, it's about activating our community. And I'm very proud to be part of that initiative. It brings us together to make downtown and Canal Park not only functional but vibrant, because a healthy downtown isn't just a collection of buildings, it's a living, breathing center of culture, commerce, and connection. A downtown sets the tone for the entire community. When our downtown thrives, Duluth thrives. Imagine Downtown helps turn possibility into progress and vision into reality. By making downtown and Canal Park a place where people are proud of and excited to be part of. That's why the work isn't just important, it's essential. So thank you for supporting Duluth small businesses. Eat and shop small, not just during the holidays. Make intentional choices year-round. Choose to meet a friend at a local shop. Buy a birthday gift from a small business. And eat and drink locally at a local-owned establishment. You're supporting someone's dream. When a small business succeeds, Duluth succeeds. So tonight, when we talk about the future of downtown Duluth, let's remember the quiet, steady, determined people who open their doors every day and choose Duluth every day. Thank you for listening to our story tonight. It's an honor to share. Before I go, I just want to applaud every small business owner out there, every worker in a small business, and a supporter of small business in Duluth, who makes Duluth not just a city on Lake Superior, but a community worth investing in. So thanks to you. Thank you. Good night.
Such a fun story, Kristi. Thank you for sharing. And thank you, Kristi and Brad, for your dedication as small business owners, being there to open the doors and close them at night. So thank you. Well, we talk a lot about the Imagine Downtown 5-year plan, and this would not be possible without the support of tonight's keynote speaker. So I first met Shaun Floerke while he was a judge. Here was this guy who wore this official robe in the courtroom, but then biking gear on his way to a meeting outside the courthouse. Many of you probably have seen him like that. He fits in with whatever crowd he is in and has a skill in really finding a common interest with anyone, especially if you bike, fish, or enjoy music. We have painted alleys together to bring street art to the public. We have co-chaired a downtown task force and traveled miles together to experience another downtown's revitalization. And yet, I think we still get along. Yeah, okay, all right. It is thanks to Boreal Waters for providing the matching grant to allow us to lead the Imagine Downtown initiative with support from many other community partners. Shaun believes in the importance of investing in Main Street. He believes in the power of community. He believes in the future of our downtown. Help provide a warm welcome to Shaun Floerke.
I really want pizza. I'm like, oh. I'm going to tell you my story, my history a bit. Well, let me set a timer. What, 70 minutes or so? Yeah. So August of 2004, we started on the bench here. Those were the old days. You went and watched a judge for a week or two, and then they threw you in the courtroom and you started doing the lawyer's work. How many of you have been in courtrooms? Come on, put your hands up. I know, punch you. How many of you have been in handcuffs? Yeah. I didn't know shit. Right? And nobody does. And they just throw you in and say, go get him, kid. You've been a lawyer, you impress a governor, you don't have tax problems, you've been in jail. Here you go. It's gotten better. It's but then you walk into that courtroom, and you, as a lawyer, as a litigant, you're always speaking and fighting, and then you shut up, and then the judge says something. And the first time you're a judge, and they all quiet down, you realize, oh God, it's me. I got it, right? It didn't take long for me to understand that a lot of what we were doing was throwing darts blindly. We had no training. Not about people and mental illness and trauma and homelessness and domestic violence. The stuff that judges know about domestic violence is frightening as hell. We weren't
doing any assessments, so I'll just start sentencing people. And we just treated you all the same, right? Well, you did a DWI second degree, you're going to get this. What if your problem is you found your sister who'd killed herself and you haven't figured out how to deal with grief? Jail will fix that right up. No problem, right? So I started exploring ideas. I'm a disruptor. I really liked not having a boss. It's awesome. I recommend it. And I would come up with ideas, and I would go to the rest of the bench and bench meetings, and I would say, let's do this. And they're like, we tried that. Won't work. Not going to do that. Lots of that. And I realized, well, you're not the boss of me. I got equal power with all you all, and I'm going to go. So we created drug courts, and if you've been through Leadership Duluth, back when I was in the courts, you understand drug courts. We are, pound for pound, the 6th district of Minnesota, one of the strongest drug court regions in the whole country, right? Truly. We built court after court after court that are national models. And it's a beautiful thing, because if you like money, it saves money. And if you like people, it saves people. I still have friends who are felons who have put their life together and are living beautiful lives. This wraparound of assessment, science-driven, thoughtful, smart intervention, wraparound accountability, get you out of your domestic household so that you can actually live a real life and not need alcohol to kind of numb everything. We did a lot of stuff. We had the chance to influence national policy. We were in conversations around what are the best practices for drug courts throughout the nation. I got to travel all over the country, shoot my mouth off, telling people how to build trauma-informed intervention so that you can actually help people instead of visiting harm deeper on people, right? But I had been, September of 04, I was a baby judge. I went and saw a Mohican elder named Don Coyhus speak. He told this story of the 3 sisters, and afterwards I went up to him, I'm like, that's a badass story, man, can I share it? I'm not gonna steal your stuff. And he's like, yeah. 3 sisters come to the water, the river, and there are babies in the river drowning, right? First sister jumps in and just starts pulling kids out and saving kids, right? Beautiful stuff. Second sister thinks, if I could teach kids to swim, then they would be helpers too. She jumps in. You're all watching to see if I fall off of this thing, aren't you? Are there a doctor in the house? If I teach kids to swim, they're going to be helpers. She does, they do, they're making more of a difference. The third sister is standing by the riverbank, and they're like, what are you doing? Get in here, get in. How can you stand there? And she turns and ran away. Where was she running? Why? Figure out who's throwing babies in the water and hit them with a board. Right? So when you're in a courtroom, you're always dealing with something that is started 5 hours ago, 5 days ago, 50 years ago, 100 years ago. I sentenced a kid for a really scary arson up on the hillside. Super scary. Didn't know the people, didn't know the house, lit both exits on fire at the same time. Like, what the fuck? He grew up in the Seaway, and when his dad went on a bender, he'd line the kids up and beat them with belts. That's your Friday night. That's your Saturday night. That's your Sunday. Like, no wonder this 18-year-old is fucked up, right? And you think, God, what if I could do work that would be more like that third sister? What if you could actually go upstream and have a shot at changing the way little boys and girls grow up in our community, right? COVID sucked everything I loved out of the job. Being a Zoom judge, you can kind of tell I have an intensity, right? I want to be in your face. I want to be in your mix. You're going to talk to me, and we're gonna figure this out. I used to tell my guys, I either am happy dad or pissed dad. It's up to you. We dance well, I'm happy dad. You cross me, I'm pissed dad, right? Dan Lou and I went out for beers. Most of my stuff starts with beer or coffee. I don't know if you have that, but I have that. And he said there's this community foundation that's looking for a new leader and looking to in his words, move upstream, right? He knew me. We're talking about it. Dan can talk for a very long time, so I'm just kind of drinking beer and listening. And then he says, "That's you." I'm like, what? I had to Google community foundation. I had no idea. When they hired me, I said, I know community, I don't know foundation at all, right? I started the Duluth Superior Area Community Foundation. Try saying that fast a bunch of times, Roger. You did back in the day, didn't you? This is us. We are in 12 counties, 2 states, 7 tribal lands. We are spread out big. And there's a lot of philanthropy or more philanthropy on the Minnesota side, and we're just about the only thing standing on the Wisconsin side. I come in, and right away we start working on grants and scholarships, right? You give away a foundation, you take charitable money, you put it with Wall Street, and you keep spending the interest off and doing these beautiful grants, right? So we spent the first year or 2 making our grants deeper, longer, stronger. It's always a process. You're always doing that. We're still doing that. We're trying to get better, right? I'd rather do big grants, big impact. Scholarships we changed completely. Instead of asking, and I'll piss some of you off, I probably already have. Instead of asking, what do donors want? We started asking, what do students need? So like there's no wrong door, right? You can come in and give us $5 and we'll put it out in scholarships. But if you want the Kevin Precious scholarship, you got to pay 25% of that kid's education from start to finish, right? I'm done with giving people $200, right? Good stuff. Chad Ronchetti turns me on to Strong Towns. Great YouTube series. And I start thinking about the dynamics of downtown and how impactful, and I won't repeat, you guys have heard. And then, Christie's my big sister, and we've been talking for years about the work, and we were able to fund essentially half of the Imagine Downtown. We took a group to make it. We brought Michelle Reeves in. Hi, Michelle. I don't know where you are. All with an idea of how do we come together to get after the issues of our downtown, right? And if we don't come together, we ain't going to get it, right? That's why you're here. That's why you belong. That's what you live, right? We changed the name. When you go to Eveleth and say, I'm from the Duluth Superior Area Community Foundation, they want to punch you, right? I'm like, why do we have a name that pisses off 80% of our geography, right? So we became Boreal Waters. Boreal is northern ecosystem, right? It defines who we are, what we do, where we are. It's place-based, which is what we are, right? And then after a couple years, we got a great team. We've changed it all, and I'm like, is this it? We got all this money with Jeff Bezos and the assholes. And we give away, out of that $100 on with those boys, we give away $5 a year. It's good, but we got more juice, right? And so I started looking, trying to figure out what can we do, and I come across what's called impact investing. And it's a really simple idea. You pull your money from Jeff and the boys, and you invest it in things here, right? There's a fair number of people doing it, not enough. And to me, it's a moral imperative, if you're a place-based foundation, to be investing in your place, right? So our first investment is the Heights Project up in Grand Marais. Is Jason Hale in here? Jason, you here? I don't know what he's doing in this picture. See him leaning with his head cocked? I'm like, I sent it to him today. I'm like, what are you doing there? He's like, I don't know. These guys in Grand Marais are building a 36-unit apartment. Half of it is 60 and 80 AMI. Half of it is workforce market rate. We were invited to invest in this project. They have 42 local investors putting up a third of the cash. These are people who've benefited from the community. They're the Hedstrom Lumbers and all the good folk up there. And like, we gotta do something about housing, right? I don't know, every system I touch, you ask them, what are your top 3 issues? I don't meet many systems where housing isn't top 1, top 2, maybe all 3, right? They gathered, and I don't know if you can see in this picture, see the guy in camo here with the white name tag, and you can see white name tags in there. Those name tags say owner. They invested in their community, right? And they didn't wait for Santa to come save them. They didn't wait for state money to just come. They stood up and invested. And then money started coming, right? Yeah. Money started coming, and they're building that thing. It's just been a joy to watch. It's built in Detroit Lakes. They haul it up, snap it together, put it up, and it's already framed in, and they're doing the inside. We invested very small, $250,000, 6%, 6 years. Plain Jane, right? My fixed investments in my portfolio with Jeff and the boys is 13.2 of my endowment. Historically, 25 years, that's performed between 4.5 and 4.8. I can invest there at 6. I look like a genius. I don't know math, right? Right? Fast forward, right here. And one of my favorite quotes. Best time to plant a tree, 20 years ago. Second best time, right now. Right now. And so we did a board process. I have a fantastic board, super engaged. Sometimes they're further ahead than I am, right? Like, oh, well, let me catch up. And we, in September, passed a policy to allocate up to 25% of our endowment to local investing. That right now, is north of $30 million. That's an engine that can make some stuff happen, right? I can't give it away, because then I close my lights, I'm done. I get indicted, all the things, right? So we are having conversations with tons of people around how do we work together to get after this housing issue. I don't know if housing will be all of our investment over time, but it's sure job one, right? We're talking to these guys, Tanya and Kevin, we're talking to St. Luke's, we're talking to the city, Rachel from Apex is somewhere back there, Matt Baumgardner, Sumer from Lisk, I'm gonna forget people, Matt Valiant's our treasurer and on our board from North Shore, we're talking to McShane, and we're talking to 3 different large foundations down in the region who have incredible amounts of cash. And they're actually interested in talking about, could we make a difference in housing in Duluth and beyond? And they're really interested if we can change the model, right? Old tools aren't going to get this done. So can we find ways to engage and change the model and use philanthropic funding to get it going? But there's a whole bunch of entities who have a whole bunch of money with Jeff and the boys. And I'm going to be challenging all of them to think about what they could do locally, right? What if Scholastica put 10% of their endowment here? I hope Rick's back there. He'll be mad at me. What about large businesses, huge employers, all the things? Essentia's been a great partner in the conversation every step of the way. But what if we collectively, and we'll lead, you can tell I'm kind of pretty comfortable being out on the cutting edge, right? We'll lead. We're happy to lead. We're happy to organize and talk and bring people together. But what if we can create the partnerships that can actually change the dynamic here and beyond, right? And I want to build one, right? I don't know if you've noticed, Duluth can be a hard place for new ideas. A little like those judges' meetings. Well, Grandpa tried it. Didn't work. Right? So I don't know that our little crew of folks will have a lot of help or a lot of people clapping about it. I think you'll get a lot of people, fine, build one, prove the concept. Let's do something, right? Every time I talk about this, moving investment to Main Street, somebody says, what about risk? Right? And I say, what's the risk if we don't do anything? Watch our streets crumble? Watch our housing slide away? Can't hire? Can't draw people here? What's the risk of doing nothing? Cool thing about that project up in Grand Marais, two things. One, it ain't gonna fail. There's 42 owners with cash in the thing who are watching it 24/7. And two, the first stock I ever bought was WorldCom. Not the foundation, me. If this thing goes over, we've still built 36 units of housing. It doesn't disappear, right? One of our mottos is that all thriving is mutual. Interdependence. That's the only way forward. It's the only way forward. Some of the pictures, the work we do. A quote from, I forgot her name, Margaret Mead. Never doubt that a small group of committed citizens can change the world. In fact, it's the only thing that has. Full stop. We have what we need to solve these things. It can be easy. It's complex. America has a real short ability to deal with complexity. Everything's binary. Which side are you on, right? But we have what we need. We can generate. We can build. And that's where we're going. That's how we're going to lead. That's how we're going to show up. That's how we're going to serve and how we're going to support. We're also hiring. That's a QR code. I need a director of finance. You know that I'm going to plug. You know that I don't do math. You know that I'm kind of a wild card. It'd be fun to work with me. We have what we need, brothers and sisters. We need courage, and we need to move smart, but we have what we need. Thank you.
So, be a disruptor. Change the model. Invest in Main Street. Think about what a difference we can all make. And I think back to when this was 2004, 2005, and this was us thinking differently. When we created the Special Service District, when we started to say, all right, we're going to take a leadership role and we're going to get all of our property owners to work with us and to support our downtown. And it has made such a difference. And my friends, we are so pleased that you are here and supporting us and helping us all along the way. And I know that Shaun called me his big sister, but really he affectionately calls me the little sister he never wanted, so. But affectionately, right? Well, I do have one story I'm going to share before we go. So this was in relationship, I was talking about Shaun, and my friend was at a bar one night when he heard the most amazing cover of Journey's Don't Stop Believing. It was being played. And he headed to the stage to find our local magistrate, Shaun, behind the guitar and on the mic. He was so impressed that he hired him to play his wedding. So not only did Shaun perform the wedding ceremony as a judge, but he was also the entertainment afterwards. However, he insisted on playing his original music, which was terrible. So it just goes to show, never book a judge by his cover. All right, folks. Thank you, thank you. All right, so your raffle tickets tonight help support our outreach program. So please check the boards at the bottom of the escalator on your way out to see if you were a winner. This is also where you'll be able to pick up your taster glasses for our crafter party. Please come and enjoy, take your taster glass, and continue networking and enjoy some libations. I'm going to leave you with this. This is our time. Let's not be defined by our struggles. Look at them as opportunities, but also rather look at our strengths. We are the heart of our community, the gathering place where people share their voice, the place where you can find recreation just steps from commerce, the place where entrepreneurs define our uniqueness, the place where more residents will call home. A chapter filled with hope, a chapter filled with excitement, and a chapter filled with stakeholders who are dedicated to a safe, welcoming, and vibrant downtown. Thank you all.